I just want to celebrate another game we're winning. I just want to celebrate. Sens win 5-2 over the Winnipeg Jets. To what do I owe this surprise? 2 wins in a row? And you beat someone other than Anaheim? What a time to be alive! And just like that, the Sens are in the hunt to dig themselves out of last place in the NHL standings. Just don't go on another losing streak. As always though, let's kick things off with lineup changes. With Jack Rodevald injuring himself in the Sens win over Anaheim on Thursday, they recalled Darren Archibald from Belleville. While the Sens didn't get good news on the injury front with Rodevald, they did get good news on the injury front with Christian Jaros, as he was ready to return to the lineup after missing 2 games with a leg injury. With Jaros ready to return to the lineup, the Sens reverted back to 11-7 as Darren Archibald was the healthy scratch and Ben Harpur drew in as the extra defenseman. In goal, Anders Nilsson got another start between the pipes after a stellar 45-save performance on Thursday against the Ducks. And in the early going, the Sens looked like a team that was feeling good about themselves after their strong win over Anaheim. Not even 3 minutes in, Rudolf Balcers forces a turnover in the neutral zone, and Mark Stone, Chris Tierney, and Balcers race back the other way. Balcers feeds Tierney at the blue line. He quickly one-touches a pass to Stone, who fires a long wrister on goal. It somehow beats Brossoit, and the Sens lead 1-0. Yikes. That's an ugly one. As a Sens fan, I'd be furious if one of Ottawa's goalies gave up a goal like that, especially that early in the game. But I'm on the other side of it, so a lead's a lead's a lead. The Sens hold the fort, thanks in large part to Nilsson, and with one flick of the wrist, they extend their lead. Ryan Dzingel picks up the puck in the neutral zone and wheels into the Jets zone. When he hits the faceoff dot, he rockets a wrister over the glove of Laurent Brossoit, and with 7 minutes left in the first period, the Sens lead 2-0. This is another one Brossoit should have had. Credit to Dzingel for sure, as that was an excellent shot. But boy, oh boy, yikes. Dzingel's goal would be the last of the period, as both goalies locked things down from there, and the Sens took a 2-0 lead into the first intermission. And as is usually the case with the Sens in the lead, the beginning of the next period doesn't start so well, as a breakdown ends up in the back of their net, and their lead is cut in half. Patrick Laine picks up the puck in the neutral zone, and he and Brian Little race in 2-on-1. Laine goes cross-ice to Little, he 1-on-1 by Nilsson, and 2 minutes into period 2, it's 2-1 Sens. See, this one just can't happen. Dustin Byfuglien just dumped the puck into the neutral zone. You cannot give up an odd man rush off a play like that. And you have to do a better job of corralling the puck in the neutral zone. Laine should not have gotten that puck. Amazingly though, the Sens don't let that faze them, and they stick with it. Nilsson makes a number of key stops to keep the Sens in the lead, and the skaters say thank you. With the Sens on the power play, Tkachuk goes from the goal line to the half wall to Duchesne. He sends one to the top of the point to Chabot. He then goes across the ice to the other side to Stone. He winds up, rockets a snapper over the glove of Brossoit, and the Sens have their 2-goal lead back. Like the Dzingel goal, credit to Stone for the shot, but Brossoit has to have that one too. All 3 Sens goals have been pretty ugly, but I'll take them any way I can get them. The Sens aren't done there, and neither is Brossoit's tough night. Dzingel tries to bang one in on a wraparound, but he can't beat Brossoit. The Jets goalie can't or doesn't cover the puck. It bounces around in front of his goal, he reaches out to grab it again, and misses again. Ryan picks it up, throws one on goal, it gets through Brossoit, and Duchesne bangs it in the empty net to give the Sens a 4-1 lead. Maybe it's time we keep a couple of these goals for a game when we can't buy one. Just a thought. Magnus Pajärvi tips a Jaros point shot off the post a few minutes later, and with the net empty, he can't bang home the rebound, as the Sens continue to lead 4-1. Brossoit makes a couple of excellent saves, and Nilsson keeps the Jets at bay at the other end, as the Sens take a 4-1 lead into the second intermission. The Jets come out all guns a-blazing in the third, but it's the Sens who get the next goal. In an ironically perfect twist of fate, the Hockey Day in Canada crew shows a feature piece on Zach Smith with just a few minutes left in the third period, and he rewards them for it. With the face-off at center ice, Smith is on the ice immediately after the piece. After winning the face-off, Smith and Pajot race up the ice. Pajot feeds Smith, he roofs one over the glove of Brossoit, and the Sens lead 5-1. Not 15 seconds after the piece airs, Smith scores. Talk about timing. As for the goal itself, this is the only one I thought Brossoit shouldn't have had. The Jets could have used a save there for sure, but it was an in-tight chance and an excellent shot. Those are pretty tough to stop. Speaking of tough to stop, Morrissey throws one on goal in the final minute. Nilsson never saw it through a screen, it gets by him, and the Sens lead is cut to 5-2. That's as close as things would get as the Sens hold the fort over the final minute and skate away with a 5-2 win. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Man, that win feels good. I don't know if it's the fact it's 2 in a row, or the fact that lately wins haven't been easy to come by, or that they beat the Jets, or maybe some combination. But I can tell you, this win feels amazing. I could get used to this. As always though, let's get into good news, bad news. The Sens beat a good team. If you go through Ottawa's schedule lately, it's not exactly like they've been beating good teams. They've beaten Anaheim, who isn't exactly having a good stretch of hockey right now. They beat Colorado, who at the time was struggling mightily, and still is. They beat Carolina, who isn't a playoff team. They beat Los Angeles, who is almost as bad as Ottawa is. And they beat Anaheim again and again. Anaheim doesn't win much. Those are Ottawa's only wins in 2019. 2 wins against a Ducks team that has 2 wins in more than 50 days. Once against the Kings, who are tied with the Ducks for 4th last in the league. Once against Colorado, who has only 2 wins in 2019. And once against Carolina, a non-playoff team. None of Ottawa's 5 wins in 2019 have come against a playoff team, and only one of them have come against a team that's playing decent hockey right now. Yesterday's win over a Jets team who are now 5th in the league is a huge win. It shows the Sens that they are capable of winning games against good teams, and if they stick with it, they can keep up with the good teams. Hopefully the win gives the Sens some added confidence and allows them to play better and more consistently against the good teams. Because Ottawa beat a good team for the first time this year yesterday, and that is the good news. Now, for the bad news. Yes, Anders Nilsson was excellent, and yes, the Sens won for the 2nd game in a row. But they relied heavily on Nilsson again, and that is the bad news. While watching the 3rd period of yesterday's game, I couldn't help but thinking, geez, this Sens team is a lot like a child who doesn't want to listen to his parents. And it's true. Don't play with fire. That seems to be the Sens' favorite hobby. That 3rd period last night especially was a case of Ottawa playing with fire and somehow avoiding to catch the whole house on fire. The Sens beat the Ducks on Thursday. They gave up 45 shots and 36 scoring chances. So then they came in on Saturday and played one of the best offensive teams in the league and gave up 46 shots and 32 scoring chances. In a 2-game stretch, that's 91 shots and 68 scoring chances. That's not going to get it done. You can't do that and expect to win very often. Shots and scoring chances against have been a big concern for the Sens at various times this season. And in the last 2 games, if it wasn't for Nilsson bailing them out, it would have been again. Yes, the Sens have won 2 in a row, but it's thanks in large part to an excellent couple of performances from Anders Nilsson and a porous defensive effort at times. And that is the bad news. Next up, the Sens return to action on Tuesday when they welcome the Carolina Hurricanes to town. The contest will be the 3rd and final meeting of the season between the 2 teams, with the Hurricanes winning 5-4 in Ottawa on January 6th, and the Sens winning 4-1 in Carolina on January 18th. The Canes do sit 15 points ahead of the Sens in the league standings though, and have a 12-4-1 record in 2019 to move themselves within 1 point of the Penguins for the final playoff spot in the East. The Canes do come into the contest as the less fresh team though, as the Sens are off until Tuesday, while the Canes have to play in New Jersey tonight before traveling to Ottawa. Not a huge advantage, but one the Sens could try to exploit. See you Tuesday night. Patrick Laine picks up the puck in the neutral zone, and he and Brian Little race in 2-on-1. Laine feeds Wheeler,